There will always be people who try to tell you who to be and what to do with your life. I am afraid of getting pushed down a one-way path without ever having a minute to stop and figure out what it is I really want to do. Do I really want to be a physical therapist? Do I really want to spend 8 more years in school? I don't want to wake up one morning 20 years from now and realize it had all been one big gigantic mistake. So my partner Doug and I went on a few trips to interview people who have overcome that point of uncertainty, who hang on to their passions and continue to pursue things that they believe in, amidst all of the pressure to conform. This is my road trip. I'm about to call Laura Jenkins, who is a distribution manager. Hi, is this Laura Jenkins? Hi, my name is Tierza'sSenior and I'm a senior at Women's County High School. And for our senior project this year, we're supposed to be interviewing people who are inspiring or have created their own paths, pretty much. And I was wondering if my partner and I could interview. Now I'm about to call Dorothy, who is an at-home seamstress. Hi, is this Dorothy? Hi, my name is Tierza'sSenior and I'm a senior at Women's County High School. And for our senior project this year, we have to interview people who are inspiring to us or have created their own path in life. And I was wondering if my partner and I could interview you. Last but not least, I am now calling Joanne, who is the owner of the White Dress Shop in Hertford. Hello, is this Joanne? Hi, my name is Tierza'sSenior and I'm a senior at Women's County High School. And for our senior project this year, we have to interview people who are inspiring to us or have created their own path in life. And I was wondering if my partner and I could interview you. So where were you when you were our age?
I went to Smith College, which is an all-female school in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Oh.
And I picked that because it was very focused on academics.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like it. I knew within like the first 2 weeks that it wasn't for me. And I'm not telling you what to believe. You may think what they're doing is great, but a lot of the people, they think that abortion is okay. They think that I'm not saying that they passively think it's okay, but they want to spend money promoting that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they think that a boy and a girl, that it can be 2 girls together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how they think, and I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I resented being in an environment where I had to accept that, and I couldn't have freedom of speech, because freedom of speech applies to everybody. Somebody died, and, you know, soldiers die every day for those kind of basic freedoms. And I said, well, I don't like this because I'm an adult, and you're another adult telling me what to do. So I knew right away. I said, look, I don't want to stay here anymore.
At that time,
what was I doing? I was probably preparing to go off to school. Me and about probably 20 others in my graduating class at Women's went to East Carolina. So that's what we were doing, getting ready for East Carolina, getting ready to leave home.
I was a senior in high school. I was sewing then.
really?
Yeah, my mom was a seamstress, but I decided I wanted to do it better. What she was doing, because she would make our clothes and she sewed for other people too. But I like it. You know, I just wanted to make better clothes. I said, if I'm going to sew, I want to look great. Because I took home ec when I was in the 9th or 10th grade, and that was pretty good. It was home ec 1. They had but that teacher, she didn't put a lot into it. And I said, that's not enough. And then I took home ec 2, because we had home ec 2. And that teacher, whoa, she really inspired me and pushed me along. Yeah, and she said, you got a lot of good potential in you. And so I used to help her work on cheerleader uniforms and everything. And that really got me going. I told my husband, I said, I'm going to stay home until the kids get older. And in the meantime, I just keep sewing. Yeah. And I was doing pretty good there when we were in Hertford. Yeah, I did pretty good. When we moved over here, when I got sick, I got really sick when the kids were young and were in school. And so we lost everything trying to take care of me and found out what was wrong. I started having seizures real bad and nearly died. And that lasted for years. So we moved over here because my husband, we met some people, the people living next door to us, the two older people are dead now, but their daughters over there, they took us in just like family too, to help. And we met them in our church, and they said, well, look, we got a place where you can live, because we had lost our mobile home. We had just bought it, and we lost it. And they said, look, we can get you in that house, you know, and you can stay there as long as you know, can get you started. So you have a place to live. So that's how we moved over here. Yeah, and then first I wasn't sewing because I wasn't well enough. I was too sick. I couldn't sew. And then I think I did something for one lady that lived in a house back there, or somebody told her I might be able to sew. She brought me one or two things just to test me out, and then she told everybody on her job, everybody in her family. They told everybody else in no time, and oh wow.
Have you always wanted to do what you do?
Actually, I never would have, if I knew that a lot of business was connecting with people and building relationships, I probably would have been very open. But I think, like I said before, I was really geared toward college and academics. And I wanted to, and I still do like to do different political causes where it's like we need to talk to our congressmen and make sure that they're helping veterans, or we need to protect women who might have an abortion and do something that would hurt their health. Like that was what I was doing when I was approached with, have you thought about diversifying your income and having a business?
No, I guess not. When I went to East Carolina, I was majoring in accounting. So I took one accounting course, and I said, this is not for me.
Yeah.
So about that time, my mother had bought White Dress Shop from her aunt, who opened it in 1946. So I thought, well, I'll get a business major, and I'll come and do the bookwork for her and do this thing together. Well, so what I ended up doing was taking a clothing and textiles major and a minor in business instead of having to go through the accounting and all that stuff. And I graduated in December of 1982 and got married in the spring of 83. And the Friday before my wedding, shop over in Elizabeth City called and said they had accepted our bid. We had put a bid on another dress shop over there. And I said, well, look, I'm getting married Sunday, and I'll see you a week from now. And so when I came back on the weekend after our wedding, I went to work on Monday, and I've been working retail ever since. So it'd be 32 years.
No, first I was just planning on I wanted to finish high school and just go, you know, to college, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I kept sewing the whole time, because in high school I was making other people's clothes too, and they helped me extra money, which I wanted to do. And then I got married when I was like 19, and I kept on sewing, but I just wanted to do it because I was so familiar, my husband, and we got 2 children when they were little, but I really got into it more with the money because people kept coming to me and asking me. So I started doing it, and I stopped for a little while and took a regular job, but with 2 children, back then, there was no daycare. No daycare. And when I had a job, I couldn't afford it. It cost too much. It's all my money to pay for 2 kids.
When did you realize that this is what you wanted to do?
I was at a Starbucks. Before I had read this book, I was at a Starbucks, and I kind of figured out, like with the nonprofit world, you have to ask for money. You have to ask people for donations. Who do you usually ask for donations? People who have money. And at the end of the day, I kind of realized, well, because they have built a business, they can give to whatever cause they want. And they can be as generous as they want, or if they want to spend time doing a certain aspect of something, like visiting the soldiers at Walter Reed. That was something in Washington, D.C. that was really important, was meeting people that are around our age that were wounded.
Like I said, when I took that first accounting class, I thought, this is not for me. This is not
Numbers.
For me. Yeah, numbers was not my thing. Computers was not my thing.
I
can talk to people, and so that's, you know.
Same.
My mom was a seamstress, but I decided I wanted to do it better. What she was doing, because she would make our clothes and she sold for other people too.
What obstacles have you had to overcome to get here?
I had some friends and family who weren't supportive, and that's okay. But I think at the end of the day, realizing, well, what is it that I want? Like, instead of following other people, like, actually identify what you want to do. You know? And then, I mean, when I met my husband, he was that kind of person that was like, well, you think you have to be perfect to do all these things. But why don't you just start doing them?
Yeah.
So perfectionism.
Yep.
That's a topic that we all face. Maybe some of us more than others. But I really thought I had to be perfect in school to succeed at something. I was putting all this pressure on myself.
Probably the biggest obstacle has been the economy. You know, it has been a lot of fluctuation since the 80s. You know, we had Desert Storm in the 90s, and we've had whatever you want to call this over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But that's been the biggest obstacle because you cannot control the economy. You can do all things right, you can treat people well, you can have a good product, but the economy is a big thing.
Mainly to me, it's the thing about I want to make more money. You know, the hardest obstacle to overcome is getting people to see that you're serious and that you're good at it. Because a lot of people here, they think, oh, she's just doing a little side job. She's not that great. And because I didn't put it in a building, you're still going to have people who say, she's not doing anything. It's just a little side job. So to me, that was the hardest part, getting people to see that I can do the work. Because now they'll bring it to you. They don't care. Some people, I don't care where you are.
If you could go back to the first 5 years after college, what would you have done differently?
Probably would have gotten a job with benefits.
Yeah.
Retirement. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that because by being self-employed, I was able to homeschool my kids. I did that while I was working. So I don't know. It's being self-employed has had its pluses and minuses. Like I said, I would not have been able to have homeschooled my kids. I loved having my kids with me.
Yeah, I bet.
And
That's one of the
when other
things,
people were saying, "Oh, I can't wait for school to start, so my kids go back to school," I dreaded to see, the semester start where you had to be back on a schedule and things like that. So when we started homeschooling, when my kids were in the 1st and 4th grade, that was just freedom for us because we were on our schedule.
Yeah,
we could go and do.
But that was nice.
And I couldn't have done that if I hadn't have been self-employed.
In your opinion, what skills do you need to succeed, during and after college?
Wow. Well, I would say emotional intelligence. And what that means is not necessarily like academic knowledge, but perceptiveness. Like you probably know how to read people.
Yeah.
If any situation behind a counter where you're doing customer service, you kind of read who's in a hurry, right?
Yeah.
Like my dad is one of those people that he just wants it done in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And some people, they want to know, well, who's coming? What kind of food are you served? Like they want to know all the social, and sometimes, some people, they need a task to do. And as long as this, you kind of have to learn how people think. That's a life skill.
Well, education is good. I think the life experience you get from going off to school is probably, in my opinion, this would not be popular with most people, but that's the biggest thing. Learning how to deal with people, how to talk with people. If you're not a people person, you don't need to be out in public relations. And you don't need to be out in the forefront. And there are some people that, put me behind a desk and put a wall or a cage around me, and I'm fine to punch numbers, but that's just not
what you want to do. No, you want to be out there interacting with people.
Right. That's been one of the best parts about being in the public world. It's just the relationships that you build.
What was the hardest decision for you to make when starting up your business or your career?
I had a lot of debt when I, got into business, not from business, but from not having any money and moving to a major city. So that was an obstacle, but you can overcome that by making money, right? That's the goal, is to get yourself out of whatever situation you're in.
Well, like I said, they're all based on the financial end of it, the economic end, because that's things you do not have control over.
Yeah.
But the rest, I love what I do. I love the people I work with. I love the marketing. I love the hustle and bustle of the holidays. It's fun helping people. I help people with weddings, some of the special times in their lives, and I help them get ready for that. Help them for class reunions. Everybody wants to look younger in summer. So that's something I do. One of the hardest things that I do is I meet with people, that are preparing for funerals and deaths. Some of those experiences have even been cool experiences.
It was sort of like branching out when I started going to when I first found out about the chamber was always having those little, because I think I went to a class or two, COA's always offering computer classes, and I went to check them out and somebody from the chamber said, "Why don't you come to a chamber event and see what we do?" And I said, "I don't." I said, "What is a chamber?" Because I hadn't thought about Chamber of Commerce. And so I started doing some little special things where everybody gets together and exchange business cards and talk about your business. And they started grabbing me. She's like, "You need to join a chamber." I said, "I'm not ready." So that was one of the hardest things to finally decide to do it.
So what does a typical day on your job look like?
There is no such thing. Because from the time you open the door till the time you lock the door, you're dealing with people. And so it's never the same.
Like you just said with this funeral thing. I mean, that doesn't happen on a typical day.
Right. Some people come in because they're having a great day and they're just happy. Some people come in because they have to have something. And some people come in just for retail therapy.
It's usually kind of busy. I usually start, by the time I get back in here, because I go working out there, I'm usually starting to work by 8:30 or 9. And people come in all the time. Some people call, some people don't. They just show up.
Yeah.
But it's, they bring me a lot of stuff. They bring clothes to be altered and hemmed, and they bring curtains to be hemmed. They bring me all kinds of things. I sew badges on for the police department. And things. And some people want me to make them more. Like, some people want you to make from scratch, which I can do, but I tell you, got to put a little bit more. You can't just come in here and say, "Here, throw me a pattern or throw me a piece of fabric." We got to have your measurements, and you're going to have to come try it on at least once before I'm finished, because I want to make sure it fits right. Yeah, and I get a lot of wedding stuff.
How has your job affected your life?
Well, like I said, it always comes back to the financial end of it. It's been a little stressful, not having benefits, somebody to put in an IRA for you. And every year you think, well, the economy's going to get better and I can do something later on. So the economy is the biggest stress, the financial end.
It's made a big difference. It's made me stronger in my faith and getting out there with people and being able to talk about the business. And sometimes you help somebody just by to me, it makes me feel better when I help somebody with their clothes. Just comes in here, and especially women, they'll be all falling on the floor because they think, "Oh my goodness, my clothes look terrible. I look terrible." Just to get somebody into something to see the difference that it can make if they're fitting right. Because most women, our clothes don't fit right.
Are you happy with your life?
Yes, but I have other things that I want to do. But I see retail as part of that, doing that alongside what I'm doing. I'm working on a really cool project, which Lori Shepherd knows all about, which is network marketing. We're doing Nearium, which is a cancer research lab. And it goes right along with what I'm doing, relationship marketing, talking to people. I've been practicing that for 32 years, sharing something that I really believe in, and that'll help them.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm just trying to figure out how to expand it. I would love to take it out of the house, but when I looked at some of the building prices, I kind of hesitated.
Yeah, everything.
Because these buildings are real expensive. And so I hesitated. And just keeping up the equipment, sometimes it's hard. But I'm happy with it. A lot of people like the work. They keep coming back and they keep saying new ones.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
If you were to give, people like us who are just pretty much going out into the real world with all the responsibilities, what piece of advice would you give to us?
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Don't take it for granted.
Yes. Get up every day and thank the good Lord that you're alive and well and healthy, and just go out there and share your life with people.
I would say go ahead. It's good to go to college. But I'm saying go into something that you think you might really want to do. Because you don't need to get a degree and then later on you sit back and say, "I don't want to do that."
I've been hearing a lot of that.
Even if you change your mind later on and get you might start with one thing, you can change your major.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do it, there's no need of going there because mom and dad or the whole family say you should be doing it. Don't go get a degree in something that you don't want. Yeah. And it may as well be something you like.